My name is Lucille Fansler Lish Smith.
Could you spell all of those two for me, please?
The name Lucille come from my French grandmother, Lucelle, and then Fansler was her maiden name, so I got it for my middle name. And then Lish was my maiden name. And Smith is my married name.
Okay, could you spell the two middle names you have?
Fansler, Fansler.
And the next one?
Lish, Lish.
Lish.
H.
Okay, from a French grandmother. Okay, and the Lish is what again?
English.
English. Thank you. Okay.
I was born in Deweyville, Utah.
Love the sound effects.
Her clock.
Born in Deweyville,
Utah. That's in Box Elder County.
Okay.
October 9, 1920.
1920. Wow. I am just so amazed at how beautiful you are and have kept your youth all these years. Just
absolutely.
Isn't that just phenomenal? Just And Miss Lucy is also a cancer survivor, breast cancer survivor. Right?
Congratulations. Mm-hmm.
So I'm just connected with her in other ways.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And what would you like to share with us about maybe your family?
Well, I have. I've been saying for the last couple of years that I have 74 people in my family. So Kathy brought the paper to me, and here I have 85.
85 family members.
Yes.
So from your direct
I have
line.
Had 5 children.
5 children. And how many girls?
2 girls and 3 boys.
Okay, got it.
My daughter Marcia is the oldest.
Okay.
And then Mark was next, 2 years later.
Okay.
He was a twin, but one of them died. And he always used to pull this on me. I'd say, when he'd do something I disliked, I'd say, I wonder what that other little twin would have done. And he says, well, Mom, I'm here. He's there.
That is cute.
Yes.
I'm here, he's there. Yep. Yep. Okay. And so Marcia, Mark.
And then I had all these problems with my uterus and everything, and so I couldn't get pregnant. And 8 years later, I had this, I call it my second batch of children. I had Kim.
Okay. No, Kim.
And then Kathy and Carrie.
Spell
K. K-E-R-I.
K-E-R-I. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. And so the rest are grandchildren and
great-grandchildren.
Wow.
Isn't that neat?
That is.
But something about Marcia's family, she put all of her kids through college and on a mission.
Wow.
And she had the two girls and 3 boys.
Mm-hmm.
And they all,
they all served missions, all 5 children.
Yeah, all
so
5.
That's a rarity, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wonderful. That is wonderful.
I really admire her for that.
Mm-hmm.
And in the meantime, she had taken 2 of her husband's brothers to raise them. Because the father had died. The mother died a long time ago, but the father had died. And I lost my train of thought.
Okay,
that's for being
Marcia.
92 years old.
That's okay. You are so entitled to that. So why don't you share with us some of the notes you took of what you would like to share with us and what we would like to share with the world.
Okay. Well, Kathy had written down gardening wisdom. Well, I love to work in the garden. And when I had this accident 3 years ago, that was the thing that when it was in the springtime, and I couldn't go out and work. That made me so sad because I loved working in my yard. But I always say to my kids, you water once a week and you fertilize. And keep the weeds out, which are very few, if you do it right, you know.
That's true.
And then next she went and had down sharing talent.
Okay.
Well, I have always loved to crochet. And later on in life I took up ceramics, which I went gung-ho on. I love to do that. And my crocheting, and then I quilted an awful lot. Quilted quilts for all the kids that was married. But my crocheting, I would try to get each one of the grandkids to learn how to crochet. Well, they could do a single crochet, just great. They'd have it clear around this room. But none of them ever went ahead with it. But just a couple of years ago, Kathy's daughter Sarah asked me to teach her how to crochet. I says, oh, here we go again. You know? So I started helping her, and oh my gosh, she has turned out to be a beautiful crocheter, and she makes hats with these funny faces on them, and they're darling. And she has made one for all of her nephews and nieces, so I'm proud of that. I crocheted a dress and a blanket for each grandchild that was born.
Daughter.
Wow.
A granddaughter.
Oh, what did I say?
Each daughter.
Grandchild.
Oh,
Okay,
what?
great
The
granddaughter.
boys wouldn't wear them.
Ah.
No way.
You made them, but they wouldn't wear
No
them.
way.
That's okay. Back in old English days, boys did wear those.
Oh,
type
they
dresses.
did. I have a picture of my dad, and he's in this huge, big, long, full dress. It's pretty.
Do you think you have some pictures that you would like to share with us that we can put in this little book for it?
If my Kathy will
Okay.
go look.
Okay, so
While we're
after the
talking.
interview, if you don't mind? Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm curious, did you crochet a full length, a woman's dress, or the children's dresses?
Grandchildren's dress.
Children's
Granddaughters. Yeah, granddaughters.
And then the blanket to match.
Wow. Wow.
They were cute. And my neighbor up here said to me, oh, so that sun's is that bothering? I can pull the curtain
Where's the...
right over here. I can do it.
Okay.
Let's just pause
The
that.
neighbor asked me if I would make a baby dress for her daughter that was having a baby, and she was had married. Her husband was a grandson to the president of BYU.
Oh.
And so I told her, sure, I would do that if you think it would be okay. You think of them as kind of elite people, you know, and wouldn't like something like that. And so she had the baby born on my birthday, October the 9th.
Wow.
That I'd made this
Wow.
little dress for her. That tickled us both, you know, to think that would happen.
How precious is that?
Yeah.
And
Now,
which president was that?
BYU.
BYU?
Do you remember his
Remember?
name?
Doesn't matter, I was just curious. Because
I
I was
know.
there in 70, so I was just wondering.
in 70, maybe that's
It was,
okay.
probably wasn't. It was,
What was his name?
Dallin Oaks was the
Oh,
president
no,
then.
no. I mean, that wasn't the one.
Before.
Okay. So, when I crocheted my, let me go to my quilting.
Okay. We would love that.
When I did my quilts for the kids that was married, I put in the middle the picture of the temple that they were married at, and then around the outside the seagull lilies. And it was really a pretty quilt.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Maybe she has some
you've got it.
pictures that you can share.
That whole book is her life.
Look at that quilt.
Yes.
We'll take some pictures and put it in with the book and stuff. Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
And then the ones that didn't go through the temple, I just did seagull lily around it.
So,
Stay
are
in
you
Utah.
willing to still do any of those?
I can't quilt.
Can you teach?
Yes, I can teach, but I can't go like this anymore.
Oh, I would.
Yeah, those
I would love
teeny
to
tiny
learn.
stitches.
Yes.
What's
Yeah.
that?
You had
Teeny
teeny
tiny.
tiny stitches.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Did any of your children continue the
Marcia
quilting? Does the
quilted,
quilting?
or
Okay.
quilted
Quite a bit. In addition.
but
Okay.
not anymore. No, now she doesn't do it. So she hasn't taught it to her children, her two daughters.
Mhm.
So
It's becoming a lost art.
It is. So, okay. Beautiful work.
So should we go to jobs that I had?
That works.
Okay. I worked at J.C. Penney's after I got out of high school. And this was in the day where you wasn't assigned to a certain place. You did the whole store.
Wow.
And then you wrote it down on the paper saying what they had bought. And they gave you the money. You put it in this little cylinder and you pulled the string and it went up to the girl up in the top, and she went and counted it out, and if everything was okay, then she sent it back down.
Like a dumbwaiter?
Yeah.
Oh, how fat.
You
Who'd have
didn't know they
guessed,
had
yeah.
that, huh?
No, that's in.
That was fancy, huh?
Yeah.
And then I went to the Arsenal it's just out here. at
Ogden
the
Arsenal?
base.
The DDO?
And no, here, right out
On
here.
base. When it was the Arsenal here on base.
Mhm.
Wow.
And what year was
And-
that, Mom?
1941, after the war.
So
They- but we
1942
still
Civil War,
doing-
44.
And I did, I was on the line for 50 caliber shells, putting them, we'd pick out a shell, put it in a link.
Okay.
This is for the machine guns.
Okay.
It was hard work.
Okay.
It was. And I weighed 105 pounds, and I'd reach over there, get the bullet, bring it over here, shove it in the link belt, pull up the belt like this, and we had, they were 100-pound buckets that we put them in. It was hard work.
Like Rosie the Riveter. Huh?
Yes.
Awesome.
I was. And I left that job to marry my husband. How's that?
How did you meet your husband?
Don't ask that question.
Oh.
I was going with. Can I start over?
Okay.
My girlfriend asked me if I would like to go out with her boyfriend's boyfriend. And I said, oh, sure. We were both working at J.C. Penney's in Brigham City.
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, sure. And so that's what I did. Went out with this guy, really nice. His dad was very rich in Ogden. Why I would stupidly let that go, I have no idea. But George and I decided that we were supposed to be together.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, now what do we do about telling Othel and Anna? And I says, that's for you to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so he went and told Othel, and And Othell stayed friends with us all through our married life until he died about 10 years before George did.
Mm-hmm.
But he would come out and stay with us and play with the kids, and we really had a nice relationship out of it. And I admired him for being that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And friends are wonderful.
Yeah, yes it is.
But tell them how you'd go to Crystal Springs. Was the big hot spot, right?
That was your hangout, huh?
That when
Crystal Springs was your hangout?
when we lived 1.5 miles north of the Crystal Springs. My dad and all the family worked at Crystal Springs,
Oh, okay.
but all of us kids, we'd go out in the field and work all day Saturday, come in at noon, wash our hair, put it up in curls, go back out in the field. Can you imagine how sticky that must have been and yucky? But at that time, everyone was doing it. We'd go down to the Crystal Springs and have fun on Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad was working in the beer part for Crystal Springs, and my mother would sign people in.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the boys at Bushnell Hospital, that was at Brigham City at that time,
Mm-hmm.
they would come there. And my dad said she would give more out to them than what she brought in from the Crystal Springs. Oh, she'd feel sorry for them and give them a $10 bill or something like that, you know, to help them out. And she loved
These were kids that were wounded in the war at that hospital, Mom? Is that who
Yes.
it was? Okay.
Yeah.
They were
You
wounded
need to explain
warriors?
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
and they were
Veterans.
usually
Veterans.
all
Mhm.
something wrong with the arm or leg or
Mm-hmm.
that, and that's why Bushnell would take them in and try to use therapy on them to get them back.
Wow.
Going.
Wow. That's a phenomenal story.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay, now tell them about what your dad did, Mom. All of his life. What did?
He worked at Crystal Springs, is what she said.
Yeah, but that's not his big.
my dad had a 120-acre farm.
Okay.
In Deweyville.
Yeah, I've been doing it. And we worked that, all of us kids worked on that farm. He raised potatoes and beets. Every year when he's finished taking his last load of beets in, he went to Brigham City and bought us a new car. Paid $700 cash for it.
Every year?
Every year we got a new car.
He made that much money farming.
That
Good
was
for
just
him.
on the beats.
On the beats? Wow.
Yeah, so that was...
So when the Depression hit,
Okay.
tell them about that, Mom.
Well, I didn't know anything about a depression until after I was married, and
Wow.
George was writing about the depression and how they would go get 5 cents of hamburger to eat.
Wow.
Well, here we had everything imaginable. Potatoes, the wheat Dad would take to Honeyville and get our flour and mush.
Mm-hmm.
And we had chickens, the cows for milk.
Mm-hmm.
And can I tell you a cute story about chickens?
Yeah. I'd love to hear it.
My sister and me had to gather eggs. We each went with a 5-gallon can up to the chicken house, and we would fill them up and come back down, and we would put them over a little light to see if they were okay. So there wasn't anything in the yolk.
Mm-hmm.
And then we would put them in the carton for the eggs. And we'd go back up. Well, one day, this is the second time, my sister, she was 18 months older than me, so we were really close. And she said, I am not going to go back and do any more eggs. And I said, well, what will we do with them? And Dad had given a portion of his land to the state for roads, and in those days they just put
Pavement? asphalt?
gravel,
Gravel?
but just gravel. And so we had the big gravel pit up there. So we stood out by the chicken coop and threw the other bucket of eggs up into that.
What was your sister's name?
Naomi.
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 You should tell him all of your siblings' names, Mother.
What are your siblings' names?
Okay, starting at the top
Okay.
was Horace Alish Jr.,
Horace.
and he went by the name Busie, B-U-S-I-E. He was a bishop for 15 years,
Wow.
and he would go when the women had quilting, he would go and sit down with them and quilt. He always carried a needle in his pocket up in his bibs.
He liked to
for
quilt.
Yeah,
him.
he loved
Good
it.
for him.
He was a hoot.
Oh my
So,
God.
and then the next one was Irene,
Yeah.
and she's the one that died with cancer and left me her son that was 49 years old. And that's why we built this part onto the house,
Mm-hmm.
because he had to have, we were originally going to do just where the car was.
Yes.
Well, he had to have his pool table. So the judge went and said to us, well, why can't he have the pool table where you were originally going to build a place in that, and then you build above it.
Just let it go.
You build him a place above it. So upstairs he had a front room, bathroom, and a bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
A really nice place.
How long did he live there, Lucy?
10 years, and then he died.
And what did he die of?
Heart attack.
Oh, wow. Wow. But bless you for taking them in.
It was very hard, and I didn't have the patience that George did. And he would do different things with him that then he'd come in the house and he'd say, wish I had your sister. I think I would clobber her, because he was easy to teach and he learned good, but she held all that back
Oh,
because he was,
handicapped?
yes.
He was disabled in learning?
Mentally,
Men-
well, actually, he was autistic. Nowadays, he would be considered autistic. When we used to have to do reports in school, he would come here on Sundays. They always came down here for dinner on Sundays after, well, even when my uncle was alive. But he would get a book of an encyclopedia. He would read it from the front cover to the back cover, and he could memorize everything in that encyclopedia. So whenever we had to do a book report, we'd say, hey, Jerry, we got to do a report. And he would write it down. He had the most beautiful handwriting.
Looked like a typewriter.
Yes. He would write everything. We'd always get A's on our reports. And he would do it.
For
Just out of memory.
Wow.
Just
For the
out of
record,
memory.
Kathy Smith, one of the daughters, is here and helping us with the stories. Thank you for sharing that, Kathy. I love it. Oh my gosh, because I heard about Jerry, but I didn't know much
Yeah.
about Jerry.
But then, tell him about what Renee and Sid did.
Oh,
Their job.
they run the hamburger joint across the street from Box Elder High School. And Renee would get up at 3 o'clock in the
Is this
morning.
Irene?
Irene.
Okay.
We called her Renee.
Okay.
And put on her roast. And then she'd start making pies. And Sid would do the mashed potatoes. And so when the kids had come over, he was ready to give them the hamburgers or the...
Mm-hmm.
It was called the Pie Dump in Brigham City.
The pie dump.
Across the street from Box Elder High School. Then, Box Elder High School now is on the other side of town.
Wow. So you have a sister Naomi, a brother Horace, a sister Irene, and then
Another brother, Elmo, but his name is Marion Elmo Lish. And everyone, he's Moki. Is that dumb?
Moki. That was his nickname? Moki?
Moki.
M-O-K-I-E?
Uh-huh.
Or M-O-K?
I-E.
Okay, M-O-K-I-E. And Marion, M-A-R-I-O-N?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. And who else was?
How many is that?
4. There was 5 of you? 5 siblings? And then you?
7.
7. Okay, so we have Naomi, Horace, Irene, Marion, and
Nomi and me.
okay, that's
Is
what.
that 7?
No, we have Naomi, Horace, Irene, and Marion. That's 4. 5 is you. Who are we missing?
Gloria.
Gloria.
Oh my gosh. I was the baby of the family.
I know you're the baby.
Until Gloria come along 8 years later.
Oh.
So she took away my thunder. Okay.
Ah. So who's in between you and who's older than you? Who is?
Nomi?
No.
Tilly? Did you
So
say-
is Nomi the same as Naomi?
Yes.
Okay, because we started with her first. Naomi, Horace, Irene, Marion.
Tilly? You don't have Tilly, Mom.
No, Tilly.
Okay.
Okay, so
She was the
okay.
concert pianist.
Wow.
Tilly. T-I-L-L-Y.
Matilda
Matilda.
was her name.
Okay.
So we all went. she
Concert
went by
pianist,
Tilly.
huh?
Yes.
Wow.
And she come down with, at that time it was called St. Vitus Dance.
I've never heard of that.
She was like this. And she walked.
Like a Parkinson's?
Yeah. Just
St.
like-
Vitus
yeah,
Dance.
It was called St. Vitus Dance.
Wow.
And
Have you heard it
I
called that?
haven't.
No.
my mother and dad took her to doctors everywhere in these surrounding states, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And no one could do anything for her. And
How old was she then?
when she started,
Mm-hmm.
well, she was still at home. I mean,
Wow.
Like a
She's
teenager
been- yeah.
when that took place?
yeah.
And so that affected her playing?
Yes, but she kept playing. She'd sit at that piano, and then she'd start crying and go wham with the keys. Get up and walk away till another time. But then she got married, and she was not supposed to have children because of her condition.
Right.
And here comes along this baby.
Aww.
So I went down and stayed. I was still single. So this was like in 1935.
Mm-hmm.
And I went down and stayed with her and helped her. And I had to, and now I was 18 years old. I think of this, if my granddaughters that are 18. I had to put out 6 gallon of milk in quart bottles, put it out in the hallway for people to come and pick up. And the thing, she had a bird, had to take care of that blinky bird. So it wasn't like the one we've got that we like.
But I was going to say, you also have a bird, so a blinking bird.
And then the baby, and then she couldn't do anything, so I had to take care of her. And the baby that was born to her was a boy, and his hands were like little claws. He was so little, and they just like bird feet.
Wow.
That's what that looked like. And now he has turned to be the most beautiful son in the world.
Oh, wow.
And he's so nice to me.
And his name?
What?
And his name is?
Oh, Richard K. Matthias.
Matthias. And that's, wow, Matilda's
Tilly's.
son.
Yeah.
Okay.
And every holiday, or just randomly, they send Mother a card in the mail. Birthday, Christmas, just thinking about you.
Oh.
They may come on their computer. They live in Carlsbad, California.
Oh, wow. And I go to Carlsbad.
Mm-hmm.
I do go.
Yeah, and they come up and visit. And I don't know how many years ago he found out he had a sister after his
That
mother
his father
died.
hadn't told him about.
Yeah,
Oh,
a wonderful reunion.
but before,
After
did
his
he
mother
remarry?
died.
Did his dad remarry?
Yeah.
Yeah, after Tilly died. He went in the army,
Okay.
and he married a sergeant in the army.
So did he keep in touch with his dad? When you,
Yes, yes.
But no one knew about the sister. How long?
They were in their 60s, right? Before
Oh.
they found each other.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. And she called him. She did the research. She was doing genealogy. And she did the
Oh, it
research
gives me
and found out
goosebumps.
about Richard
Wow.
K.
Are they the bestest friends now?
yes, they are.
Inseparable.
Yeah.
Oh,
What a
how
story.
priceless.
Yes.
What a story. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we have gone with them, and she calls Mom Aunt Lucy,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and they have some property up at Bear Lake. So we went up and rented a little cabin and stayed with them for the weekend. And they always come, you know, for our family reunions, the Lish reunions, and
Wow.
it's a great
I
reunion.
would love to meet your family. I mean, Lucy. Great stories. Great. Oh, wow.
So I'm the only one left besides this Gloria, 8 years younger than me.
Does Gloria live around here?
She lives in Roseburg, Oregon,
Oh, okay.
and all of her children live in Sacramento. I have been trying to talk her into coming back here and living with family, and she won't. And she won't go live with where her children are, which is strange. She's all alone up there,
Oh.
and I feel sad for her.
Does she like being alone up there?
I guess she does.
So if she's happy, maybe it's okay.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe it's
Keep my
okay.
nose out of it.
Yeah.
You
It's
said that,
okay.
we didn't.
Yeah, some of us like to be that way, and some of us don't. And I don't like to be alone. I like people around.
Well, like Marcia and Sherman took me up there this last year,
Oh yeah, that's
and after we left, she fell and broke her leg.
Mm.
Well, she has no one to help her at all.
so, and that
and she doesn't
that
have
is
that
sad.
many friends either.
Yeah, and so that is sad because of what you just
But
said.
she has a son. One of her sons live in Washington.
Portland.
Oh, outside of Portland. But it's a ways away, you know.
Yes.
But he came down, Greg. He came down and helped her.
Oh, that's good.
And then I guess Cindy, that's my age, that lives in Modesto, she came up for a while and helped her. But you know, she's all alone.
Mm-hmm.
She has a big, beautiful home. Big, beautiful home. And she's worked so hard in her yard, gardening.
The
It's a
gardening.
farmer
So I
trade.
was going to say, is it the farming
Yeah.
in the blood, the DNA?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And I bet when you grow something, it grows beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this for plants, exactly.
And upstairs, Kathy is tending 12 of my geraniums I bring in.
Every year.
Well, there's more than 12 this year.
Wow.
Was there? I didn't.
There's 3 on a shelf, and there's, let's
Six.
see, 3, 6,
Six.
9, 18. 20 geranium
Are
plants.
we about through with this?
No.
I'm asking her.
I'm just going to turn this and get your plants in here because they're so beautiful.
There's some of the plants,
Oh.
and that's what she's doing. So, You have some other things on your list you want to share with us?
Yes, my heck.
Oh, yes, my heck.
You got 92 years to listen to.
Oh, wow. I know. We can continue with...
Kathy has written here best friends. Well, I had a best friend, Norma, and we did everything together, and she died on me. I was lost.
Mm-hmm.
But I figure, oh my heck.
You're okay.
I figure that Kathy is my best friend.
Your daughter, Kathy,
Yeah,
is your best friend. She is.
she does everything for me. And her daughter, Rachel. I have Sandra and her husband. And before you leave, I would like you to see the mural that he painted for me in my backyard. It's 24 feet long. It's beautiful.
Wow.
And I enjoy that so much.
Oh, it is beautiful.
And
Yeah.
Sandra has been a good friend of mine for years, but she has come down with, she can't breathe, so she has the oxygen all the time, and she hates that, and she doesn't like to use it.
So does she stay in then?
Does she get out much with it? She
no,
Some people
doesn't.
won't leave.
You know,
They don't.
Oxygen.
You're because they yeah.
Yeah, she just, and so like yesterday at our DUP banquet, she wasn't there, and so Joan, another friend, went and said, "Well, she doesn't really like to come to places like this with her oxygen." And I guess you get this feeling everyone's looking at you and
The embarrassment. Yes, and
don't.
yeah. And so
she didn't.
she needs reassurances that it's okay. Sometimes we need other help in our lives. Yeah. Oh.
So, and then I have Joan for another friend. That's the ones I associate with the most.
Yes. And that's who's picking you up today?
No,
Okay. But you got a lot of friends.
but Joni and me have gone to therapy ever since that gate hit me and knocked me over.
It jumped right up, didn't it?
So we've been gone to therapy together. She has to lose like probably 100 pounds before they'll operate her on her knees, hips.
Wow.
So we've done that together.
Okay. Is she doing it? Is she meeting her goals?
No, she's a stinker.
Lucy, you have some oils you can introduce to her. We can talk to her about that.
Oh, okay.
Let's talk.
Oh, okay.
We'll get her and talk to her. Okay?
You're going on it?
Yes. We'll help her.
Okay.
We'll help her lose that weight. How's that?
We'll see.
Yeah.
Nothing else helped us. Okay, she's got favorite places. Well, Blacksmith Fork is one of my favorite places. We would always go up there because we could fish and it was neat camping. Or go to the UNS. We'd always go between where? Lily? Kathy, where are you?
Yeah.
Lily Lake and
Lily Lake.
Horn and Soapstone's in
Blacksmith Fork.
Mm-hmm.
All in that area.
Mm-hmm. But the UNS, Mirror Lake, Lily Lake, Moosehorn, all of the lakes up in there. And then over to up the hill.
That'll come to you.
Yeah.
That's
But we loved that. We'd go there. And we figured it was close enough we could take off every week if you wanted to.
Right.
That's
But fishing and hunting was a big deal for my father and my
well
mom.
survival during those times, and that's how you got food on your table.
And he
Table.
taught us all to respect it, not to abuse it.
To respect it.
And tell him about Daddy's job after he retired. What he did. His hobby.
Oh, I was going to say, job? No, he didn't. He worked 30 years and he was retired 30 years before he died.
Wow.
So
And what
we
did he
were
do?
married 62 years.
Wow, beautiful. So what did he do as his hobby? What was
He
George's hobby?
started tying flies that
Oh,
he could use
fun.
for fishing, and he tied
Yeah.
fishing poles. He made fishing poles.
Rods.
Really?
He did
Fishing
fishing
rods.
He wrapped rods.
rods.
Yeah.
Bamboo?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Did you know I'm a dry fly purist? I'm
Oh.
a fly fisherman,
Are you?
and I've tied flies.
Oh my! Well,
Oh my
I
gosh.
after he died, I took all his ties and they're in a
Yeah, frame. Yep. In a
the
shadow
other room.
box.
yeah, in a shadow box.
Oh my gosh. I'll have to
Yes.
see that too.
Yes.
It's in the other room, isn't it? I saw that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, he would send to England and get bamboo in little teeny strips, like 1/8 inch strips,
Wow.
and then he would put them together to make the octagon.
Wow.
Wow.
He made fishing poles for Carl Malone, and when Carl Malone got this, he says, "Oh, now George, tell me why you would want to make me a fishing pole." And George says, "Because of all you've done for the state of Utah."
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Well, how did you know that this was going to fit my hand?" And George says, "Because I have huge hands, and you've got huger." And so I just figured that this would be the grasp that you needed. And he says, "Well, look, George, it fits perfect."
How powerful.
He was so neat about that.
Oh.
Wow.
And then he made one for Dick Cheney, but this was before Dick Cheney shot someone. Our vice president, you know.
Yeah.
Before he
And then he made it for our Congressman, Jim Hansen.
Oh wow.
Wow.
It's very specialized.
Yes.
Yes. So did he get to present it to Dick Cheney himself?
Yeah, oh yes.
Wow.
Jim Hansen brought him here to Utah, and we went into the Marriott Hotel in Ogden, and George gave it to him there,
Wow.
so it was nice.
Wow.
Okay, so my favorite food is cheese enchilada. I love
Cheese enchiladas. Is it something you make or at a restaurant?
either one.
Oh. Eat
At
cheese
certain places. I love to go to Marina's in Bonneville.
Mm-hmm. You know what you... That's where... Lorena's in Bountiful. That's where Marilyn lives. Isn't she came from
Oh,
Bountiful.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, bless you.
Where is that? Lorena's.
We'll find out.
Bountiful,
We'll
yeah,
find out.
yeah.
We'll find
I
out.
don't know that
It's off of
offhand.
the main...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I know where
It's
it's
down there
at.
by those gas tanks.
Okay, down by Kmart in that area.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just go through the stoplight after you go past Kmart.
Yeah.
You keep going down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Lorena's. I'll have to look for that. I haven't eaten there yet.
Oh, you have to go there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, my favorite day of the week, I would say besides Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
I love Monday
know.
because we have always washed our clothes on Monday, and I still do that. I take the sheets off the bed, and then I usually have 5 batches of wash every Monday that I do. I love it.
Because the clean, knowing the things are and starting the week out
Yeah,
clean.
and put everything away where it's supposed to be. I love that.
Order.
Order, isn't it? You
Yes.
can see that.
Like
Yeah.
order.
Order. Mm-hmm.
Oh, best childhood memories. This might be dumb, but on the 40 acres south of where our original home was, we had a home. But when it would start to thaw, it was so sloppy, and the horses were having a hard time, and so Dad decided to take our house up to the other part of his land where it was rocky and dry. And so he put that house on telephone pole things.
Wow.
And his horses pulled that house up the street. And my sister and me was playing the piano. That's what it's going
Well, you're moving.
Oh my!
I thought that was their
That is.
childhood memory.
How long did it
Right.
take to move the house?
Oh, probably a day.
A full day.
A slow,
Yeah.
Wow.
And so you had no basement. It was all ground level. So they were able to jack it up, put the telephone poles, and roll everything along.
And of course, everyone knew we were moving, so no one come that direction that day.
On the road, yeah.
You had the street to yourself. Oh, that's wonderful.
Is the house still standing there?
Yes.
And is it being occupied?
Well, no, yes.
Okay.
My dad lived there after Mother died,
Okay.
and he married a lady that was our neighbor's sister,
Okay.
That's Kona's bowl,
and
Grandma. Thank you. Where's your bowl? Where's Jeff's bowl? Right here. There you go.
she come to the house, and she didn't want anything that was in the house, so she just had a big bonfire. And she didn't ask any of us kids if we would like something.
Oh no! She burned the whole house down.
Inside of that house. She didn't want anything. And I was going with a fellow,
Okay, Jeff.
and we were going to be married, and he said, if I go to Wake Island and work for 1 year, I'll make enough money to come back and build a home, and have everything we want. So he says, but then we won't be together for a year. And I said, he says, what do you think about that? And I said, well, seeing that it's such an advantage, yeah.
I'll wait for you.
And so he went to Wake Island. Well, you know what happened at Wake Island.
Yeah.
And all this time, I thought he was killed. He wrote to me and he says, we're afraid of the Russians attacking us. So we were all digging holes so we can be protected. And they've sent all the women home that was here with their husbands. And this one lady asked me if I would take her dog and protect it. He says, so in my hole, I have a dog. and he went and said that they were just waiting. And so all this time, I thought he was dead. He was actually a prisoner. They took 65 of the guys that was the strongest, and made them work for them.
Wow.
So instead of him being dead,
He was a prisoner of war.
He was a prisoner of war. And I didn't know that until George died. And Gloria sent me this stuff. Oh my gosh, I shouldn't have started on this.
No, you need to.
Yeah.
And she had gone to a place close to Roseburg, and the veterans were there. So she talked to this fellow, and he says, "Oh, I can tell you everything about Wake Island, what happened." And so that's when I found out he was a prisoner of war. And at the last, when
Japanese.
yeah, we're. Oh, I gotta sit up. Sit up.
Okay.
Okay. They kept 65 of the guys to work, and then the big general was going to come check on Wake Island. So they took they didn't want him to know that they had these 65 people working. So they took these guys down by the place where the submarines would come in. They put their hands behind their back and tied their hands and feet, and they shot them. And then they just threw them into this place where the submarines would come in.
What's his name, Lucy?
Oh my gosh. Don Bockett.
Don what?
Bockett.
Bockett?
B-O-W-C-U-T-T.
Okay. Oh.
Well, when he left to go to Wake Island, he got in touch with Lynn Allen.
Uh-huh.
Do you know Lynn
I
Allen?
know Lynn Allen.
And he
Radio personality, yeah.
Oh.
and he
Here in Ogden.
yeah, and he asked him to play
Your song.
this song. Oh,
What's the name of the song?
I'll be with you in Apple Blossom Time.
I'll be with you in Apple Blossom Time.
That's when he was going to come home. It was in May. And we were going to be married. So should we go on to
But
something?
then you found another love of your life
Yes.
in George, and you marry him. And oh, you still hold that special place for Dawn, and I
Right.
admire you for that.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go to Wake Island this coming year.
Are you?
He has a headstone over there.
Oh, really?
A memorial?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And Mother Sisters Gloria went over with her kids. Her one son, Randy, is a film director.
Oh.
So he did a movie, and they went there to get a bunch of information for this movie that he directed.
And what was Gloria's role in this? That she was at the veterans home and talked to this guy and
Her husband.
oh, just because
He
of
was-
the connection with
he
her.
was at Honolulu when they bombed it.
He was in the shower when they bombed. This is a big, it's
Right.
a joke with the family that Uncle Paul was in the shower when they bombed Hawaii, and he went running out in his towel.
My mother was 8 years old
Oh, yeah.
when, yeah.
And she lived there.
Yes.
That's
on the
where
road.
she was raised. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of horrible stuff that went on.
Yeah.
This is Foxy. This is Kathy's baby. Isn't she, sweetheart?
Darling. Don't snort at me.
Kona's snorting. If the camera's not picking up here.
Okay, so let's go on.
Okay. So we had your best childhood memory, and that was, I like that. The house being moved while you're playing the piano.
Fun.
It was all.
You know, us kids would sit in the backyard and wait for our dad to signal us when he went hunting. He would always go up to Coldwater, and that was like our house was sitting here, and the mountain started here, and went, and there was Coldwater. So we would sit in the backyard and wait for him to signal with the mirror that he'd got a deer.
Oh. Wow. And then you'd go up and help get the deer?
No.
Or you just what?
He'd have my brothers with him.
Oh, okay.
So.
Oh, how neat was that?
That we'd wait and watch for that.
Wow.
I played a lot of ball, softball. In school, I was the catcher. Like from the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
Wow.
And my friend Ione was the pitcher.
Foxy, come on.
She had huge fingers and hands, and her fingers would surround that ball, and man, she could throw it so hard. She was a good pitcher. And everyone in Deweyville would come to our games. It was a deal.
Yeah.
My Uncle Lloyd, my dad's brother, called me Mae West.
I could see that. Nickname Mae West. Did you know you had Mae West?
Oh, yeah.
No.
When she was in high school, she also played the
Rope?
drums
Okay.
in the school band. And we used to tease her about getting the sticks over her breast and hitting the right drum.
I also played the saxophone and the piccolo.
Oh, wow. Saxophone and piccolo. Do you still have those instruments?
No.
No.
I don't.
Wow. So all of this, I can see all that talent in your family that you have. Yeah, your legacy. So Lucy, if you had one thing to share with us right now and a legacy you want to leave, what would that be? Your legacy. What would you want to leave for
The thoughts of, I would like my children to respect the government
Okay.
and the rules that's set up for us.
Okay.
You never know how much that means to you until you are in another country
Mhm.
and they're way away from you. Our government is way, way away from you.
Mhm.
And what that flag means.
We have a few more minutes. Would you like to share anything else with us? Anything else off your list or anything else?
Oh, let me hurry and look.
Okay.
I've spent too much time.
No, you haven't, because we haven't even finished the hour.
Are you done with all of your questions, Mom?
No, because those were samples. I asked her about her legacy, and if she wanted to look at her list, if there's anything else that she might want to share with us.
Oh, you've got one word that best describes you.
One word. Okay. And
Well,
let's see.
I think it was my smile and my sense of humor.
I believe that. I know your sense of humor.
Oh, I take it. Oh, yeah, she likes.
Come on, Jet.
That's Kathy's Foxy and Jet, the great-grandson. Can you say hi? Can you wave at the camera? Wave, Jet. Throw kisses. Okay. Okay. So,
Okay,
Marilyn,
we're
would you
at
like to address anything with Miss Lucy
It's
there?
just been fascinating. Thank you so much for doing this with us.
And,
Fascinating.
And you know
It's a
what?
Joy to meet you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I know I said, it looks like we have a couple minutes here. And could you share a little bit about your involvement with the community, what you do with DUP? Daughters of the Utah Pioneers? Pioneers, yes. And she's very faithful. She goes to church every Sunday.
And throughout my life, I've been in the presidency of Relief Society,
Oh.
Mutual,
Mutual.
Sunday School. So I've been busy with that.
Yes. You're still doing that? The presidency?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, I'm too
Okay.
old.
Too old, but never too old. Oh, yeah. Her father lived to be 104. 104.
Wow.
So I think she's going to surpass him. What do you
I'm
think?
going.
Your what?
Your
Your lifeline.
Here, here, here.
It goes
It's
all.
going all the way around. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I've never really. Her lifeline goes. Wow. Wow. It is.
So that-
You'll probably surpass. You've come a long ways, and I am so blessed to have you in my life and in your family.
Yes.
I am so blessed and honored. So,
And I love
okay. Thank you for sharing that, Lucy.
Katie,
you. You know,
ready to
the
shut off?
thing we didn't talk about
Oh,
is what
continue.
your mineral have done for me.
Oh, the essential oils? Okay. I get, we put,
Can we?
your
go-
life has changed on a different path
Yeah.
with essential oils.
Yes. And I'm happy that you
Thank you.
come there and did that.
Okay. And do you want to share what you're using?
I'm using.
Deep
I am my deep blue. Oh my God, I have that.
So tell me what that does for you.
Well, I have a bad back and sciatica, and I put that on, and the rest of the day is a breeze.
Wow.
She has a lot of arthritis in her spine
Mm-hmm.
that we found out.
Yeah. When they took those
Just
MRIs,
recently.
huh?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just recently. She's been
Recently.
having them.
And then I had fungus under my toenail. And this doctor was a friend of my grandson. He gave me medicine, and I used it for 1 year, every morning and night. And nothing happened.
Wow.
I forgot.
She's okay.
It's okay. I'm sorry.
And
baby.
so Rachel said, use this Melaleuca.
Melaleuca.
Oh,
Yeah,
Melaleuca.
Melaleuca. That's okay. You're right.
So in 2 months,
Wow.
I have just about gotten rid of it.
Wow.
Oh,
That's wonderful.
wow.
And then my hairdresser said, Lucy, you've got something up here, and I don't know what it is. You better go to the doctor. And I thought, oh, I guess I'll use it. And I've just about got rid of all of it.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
With your Melaleuca? Wow.
Really? Wow. Using it on there. And wow, that's good.
Yeah.
And I hear there's a couple other things that you use too, but that's great. There's some great stories. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Wonderful.
that's good. Hi. Okay, well,
Well,
thank you
good.
for your time and sharing everything with us.
Yes.
And we will share with you, we're going to put some of this online. We're also going to put some of this into a hardbound book and a few things. So we would like to do that. Hopefully I have it done before Christmas to give to you.
Oh,
It all
wow.
depends when the company